N part doesn't interact
Oh.
well with Bloom.
What is it? 12, 13?
No,
Also, the base
Causes
thing I learned about this
fluctuating
job that I wrap my boots into is so long. I think I described this for others, but so long as I do it 3 weeks or so in advance, I can choose a day, and they just cannot assign me on that day.
Very good.
It's not my fault.
Oh.
Peep, what if
So you're
So,
what if your wife goes into labor and you need to use that day for that day instead of Avatar?
Yeah, you're the one that you
sorry,
have.
honey. I'm looking at 3D model.
I've been to the community meetup before, just not around it.
Actually, your wife is getting labor right now. You have to go right now.
No.
I haven't been able to get to one of these
Right
right
now?
now.
For 9 months.
That stupid bitch just pushed to do it.
I don't know
Family
what
Guy,
I
Family Guy,
don't know.
Family Guy. Peter
I'll have
punched
to go
Lois.
down
Give.
my own list.
Oh, an arcade Gallagher style.
I'm showing off a Foursquare.
Hey, everybody has. Everybody's at varying levels. It's good just to show your progress and feel good about yourself.
Okay.
It has some gimmicks. It has some
My
gimmicks.
ass is
Here's
not
a
in
thought,
Avatar
right?
in eons.
Here's a thought, right? Here's an awesome idea. It takes 30 minutes for people to all arrive here and start, right? I don't know if that's because of just natural getting on delay or if everyone actually physically cannot get on at this time. Assuming it's not the, assuming it's human delay and not that I can't physically get on at this time. Do you think, right? Game a move. I change it to the avatar. The roundup starts at 8 for me, but I change it to start at
in a map that like shows your normal view, you can see it doing weird stuff to the normal.
So then I early instance is announced at 7. Instance goes up at 7:30. The 30-minute delay of people are actually here now
That's
kicks
not
in.
it.
And we're starting at 8. Oh shit,
Maybe
Charles.
I can't show my
Pyramid
animation.
mode and triangle mode.
That was
Pyramid
2
mode is
weeks
the 3D
worth.
mode that you see it in right now. And then triangle mode is the 2D.
That was a fucking war cry.
I will admit it is incredibly fun to look at.
Also, I know if
My
I wanna show it off
nemesis
'cause I've
for
played
2
it,
years.
I vaguely
When you
have
have
it
it on your
the
dress.
man.
Boy,
Oh, does it have a 3D mouth?
The length of your dress, it's really
Ugh,
good.
who's
He had a
that?
3D mouth
I like it
before,
when it
it's
gets to
just
my
the
shoulder.
body of it
Nobody's
sucked. I put the visors on the summer version I made, but the main thing I'm happy with is that instead of the
noise
body
map.
being fucked up rectangles put together, oh hi DJ, there's like actual definition on the
Inevitable, are
body.
you?
wow.
Like it's got
Are you
like it's
playing
got an
Street
actual
Fighter?
sort of shape to it
for
with an
everyone,
obvious
though.
knee,
It's
more or less.
not in the same
Not
spot as
yet.
the thing
Tennis
coming in.
Tekken gameplay right now.
All depends on.
I'm hearing so many.
You think I played?
Are
You
you
think I
playing?
played Tekken on a keyboard?
Are you playing
Yeah.
Kazuya in Smash Bros right now?
7 on my Game Boy.
theoretically, you could make it the same.
Evan, you would
I
though.
forgot how tall this avatar was.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I wouldn't play Kazuya.
Because we have,
I'm
like,
a Jigglypuff
shaders that-
main.
Actually, we don't.
TJ, you
Sounds
should
like
show
Kazuya
Avatar off.
gameplay.
Clocks show you
Yeah, you
What
should
I
show
missed.
that avatar
TJ,
off.
show that
TJ.
Avatar off.
Oh,
today.
it's
we're
all
listening to
localized.
Kazuya gameplay.
So you should go onto the stage, right? What you should
Block
do
this
is you
overhead.
should go onto the stage, like
Everyone
lean in,
has to show up
3
in
seconds of
avatar.
silence,
actually made a-
no more, no less.
No. It's just for people who wish to.
Another 3 seconds.
It's a good
And then
way
you slide
to.
off.
I made a guess
Mr.
about the
What's your lane?
possibility
What's your
of
minutes for
shader
six?
parameters being converted.
Am I helping you with
We have it
your
together.
game?
I got a little
What's your
thrown
minutes?
off.
Street Fighter 6.
That'd be so
What?
cool, especially if
Am I
Even on
helping you with
Street
your
Fighter
Oh,
game?
maybe.
able to do
Oh,
so many
Zangief,
things.
If I decide to
100%.
show that off.
That's fair.
I hope he gets buffed.
It's probably super difficult.
I'll do it in the second,
He deserves
second
it.
time
I don't know.
around.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if he can get any buffer.
Well, is that the
Yeah.
Frisium?
That's true.
Is this like
Wait,
the
No,
only stage?
just
Well,
just a knockoff crazy.
This buff dude.
I did.
This buff dude's getting his ass
That's how you know it's not
10-year-old.
Crasium. That's how you know it's a
yeah.
dog.
This crazy actually did something.
You see that recent like terminal montage? Or
It's
something
not
like that
going
video
up.
where no one can stop.
What do you
Oh,
mean
it's
it's
going
not
up. It went
going up? No, yes
It
it
went
is.
up.
Yes it is.
I don't want to.
Everybody
it's
just
going
getting
up.
I've
kicked
seen
the
enough
crap
of
out
that.
of by Chun Li.
I've seen enough of her in
Except
Fortnite. I don't want
Zangief.
to look at her anymore.
Except Zangief. Zangief is immune.
Chun-Li in Fortnite.
Evan, get out of my face.
Oh, I thought you didn't get overstimulated. Weird. Weird. My son.
Or
Hey,
there you
son.
are.
You know what? You know what?
I walked past you.
I have to-
didn't
I have
see
to
your
put up
name at
this.
first.
Oh,
Please don't block
typewriting.
me, I'll
skills.
get so sad.
Oh.
Help! My son! He's sick. Go long.
Before this to
That's really good. What the fuck?
Please catch him.
I totally forgot to send you the easel last night.
It's fine.
That was good.
I wasn't really.
Is that the fucking shit Christmas
yeah,
song
same
guy?
here.
That's me!
Overstimulated.
Yeah, I've never been to an Avatar Roundup because they're always on Saturday at 9 in the morning for me. Ah!
I realized that back
9 a.m.
in
Yeah, no, I mean,
it's
9 p.m.
I
here.
want to show the Avatar Roundup was starting, so
share their innovations or new ideas, potentially provide inspiration for others who are brand new to Avatar making at the beginning, or
Sneezing fit.
even who are super into
look.
it, their own ideas.
You're completely invisible.
It's sharing
It spreads.
our passion, essentially.
Remember to make things that are so cool that discourage
what spreads?
Inspire,
Oh, the me.
You want to make something so good that the new people, they look at what you've done and they go, I'm never gonna be like that, and they quit while they're ahead.
This one has
I'm gonna like
birthday pants
gulp
on.
into my microphone. It's fine.
What's your
That's
birthday?
not what that
I'll
means.
just show up in like an unrigged sculpt. That's all, dude. Just really
Yeah,
fun,
right.
really high quality.
I gotta make my
really
birthday.
bad things, so people are like, I thought this was bad, but this
Hey
guy.
guys, can we do a group presentation for
Wrong
the meeting?
sound.
Saying this as the host, nothing
Already
here is bad.
interesting.
Send me
Can we do group
Show up like in an unrigged sculpt that's not remashed. A million polys.
ready,
Avatar
peep.
someone's gonna be showing off in here.
Only vertex.
I also love your group tag.
Wait. Oh.
I'm going to kill you.
It's
Why am I not
For a
in
second, I thought the randomize button
I
didn't
thought
work.
you were.
No, from other video.
Beautiful.
Like,
You're in there, Marino.
I am?
Yeah?
I am in there.
You want to be a part? I invited you.
Thank you.
Is it an invite only group?
Or do I show up the post way?
I mean, it's a request only because I got like random ass people wanting to join the group. I've never met before. Ever. No. It's funny.
I'm trying to think. Do I know one Finnish guy?
Bro, is he, like, under the
might be
water?
the same person.
Do it!
Yeah.
created a model where I manually typed out every vertex coordinate in triangle position.
That'd be really funny, and it'd make you wanna make it. If I did that, I'd wanna like blow my brains out. So I think you should. I made the soy jack face real well. this look? Okay, good enough.
They just joined VRChat not too long ago, so I brought them to an Avatar showcase so they could see all the I came here to DJ it and have since fallen in love with literally everything else too. And now this one's got me interested in Abby design.
I love this new built-in feature. Oh, it makes certain avatars.
So, like 15 minutes before this was added, Shadow approached me at McDonald's because I was hanging out with my friends there. And how do you scale avatars? I said, you can. It's a feature that fallbacks to scale the middle point of
They
other
usually stick to
avatars.
base genres, like I'm big in neuropunk and that's
Later,
that,
I get an
like
announcement.
speed house or something.
No, I do that too.
Inside of VRChat is that you can see people respond to what you're playing. And it's more like a one-way thing. It's a one-way thing. Like, here's some people music, have fun. Like, now you can actually see people, like, vibe on it, or they start to respond, or they have something, and then you go, okay, let's put stuff up on this, like, get people engaged. And you manage the energy levels as well, like, when you have
I think this seems sizable. This seems sizable.
I think we're thinking Oh, fiction. Stretch my neck.
This weight painting is just garbage for the arms.
Totally, yeah. Yeah, same, like,
I see what you mean.
so
Oh,
much,
I didn't even know it had arms.
like, it keeps you way more engaged. Though there's also sort of
Be on the ready if you catch my drift.
drinking night club kind of thing, where everyone sits like half placed in the corner, like as a hot take or something. Like, then it's a bit of a like the motivation thing. But like, if people are really engaged and are really doing cool stuff, like
Don't be that mean, Evan. Don't be mean. But he is true. He's being truthful in what he's saying. Hi. Hello, everyone. It's the first Saturday of the month, so it's time to look at 3D models. And for those who are new, hello, welcome to the Avatar Roundup, a monthly event done on the first Saturday of every month, evidently, where creators both new, middle ground, I don't have a word for, and experience can come up and show off their avatars for, like, monetary, like, hey, you can buy my stuff now, or just, hey, I made this. Am I forgetting anything? No, that's about it. These events happen on the first Saturday of every month, as I said, and you can check out more about this event and its sister event, the Community Meetup, if you join the Discord via the website, communitymeetup.net. During this event, you can show off anything that's made, so long as it's an avatar, of course. We can't show off worlds. That'd be Sunday. But it has to be within TOS. So no nothing violent or too bad or like. Yeah, just follow TOS. I'm mixing up my words today. Another thing would be it doesn't matter if you made the model. For example, you can show off anything. If it's a public model, you're good to show it off, so long as you, of course, credit the author of said model. If it's something you made, you can show it off. If it's a system you made, like a prefab, example would be Go-Go Loco, things like that. Marino's fighting prefab, and anything else that's an applicable system on a model. You can show those off, and you're also free to link any, like, Gumroad or Patreon links to any of the things you make. There's going to be a 15-minute timer on each one, so please keep that in mind when presenting, and we're going to... Ooh, I can activate audio link and a darker environment if the showcase of said model requires it. Now, if everyone may line up with the people who want to show off earlier, starting here, and the people willing to show off later, starting there, and then I can compile that, and we can get the show on the road. Open up the snipping tool. Go on, stretch your stuff. Damn. It's just simple for today. See. So true. Now I'm beginning my very intensive process of opening MS Paint with that screenshot and getting ready to erase. Okay, so you three may return to your seats, and Stabby may take the stage to show off.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been here, because usually these Saturdays fall on other events and things that I'm doing. So, yeah, let's begin with this one. It might be hard to see at range, so if you want, you can always get in closer. This one's based on Avatar: The Last Airbender, but the thing that makes this one special is that in the series she's blind, so I tried to make an effect that mimics the blindness of this model. So if you get close, actually with the camera, if you get close enough, you should be able to see that well. So this basically sends out particles that will then do like a world space projection, create like these waves. I don't know if it's visible on the stream or on the screen. And yeah, this basically, in order to get these waves at different surfaces, normally in a shader you have like a position where it originates from, but you don't really get positions readouts from like different parts of your character. But if you make a giant sprite, that sprite has an origin, so you can just tap into that and use that as a new place to originate from. And I can set it up that only I can see it or that other people can see it. And if you approach it from far away and get closer, you can actually see that it will also darken the environment. So eventually you only see the main shader. So that's something I worked on a few months ago. And yeah, so that's the thing. Another effect is also shader stuff, is where I try to get sort of a volumetric rendering to work, which is this one, which has like transparency and also turbidity. So it's like how fog behaves, for instance. So I can set it to be very opaque, like more translucent, and then also vary the emissions. Either very bright, dim, color, like change how opaque it is. So you get like this sort of gray kind of. So yeah, that's a few things I made worth showing off. Any questions or things, or people wanna know? Guess that serves that. Yeah, so that's a bit of stuff I've worked on. This avatar also just face tracking, but I don't have the tracker. Face tracker enabled. Yeah, that's just. Yeah, that's what I've done. So I guess next one.
Okay, so I've been seeing some people on Twitter complain about overly complicated animators, and today I'm going to be showing off 3 of my avatars that use auto-generated overly complicated animators. So I'll start simple. So this is a classic GIF that's been around for decades at this point, and I have every single letter and symbol in the set. As Crazium over there is demonstrating as well. This works with a giant 4K texture sprite sheet, and I am constantly changing the sprite coordinates and like quad size on every single frame. I found a sprite sheet packing tool that would give me the coordinates of every single thing, and I wrote some Unity editor scripts to generate the animations and animators for those. And there's a secret that you have to type in. Now, the second avatar, more of you have probably seen. It's definitely been around a bit. The me. This animator is hell. It is like 13 megabytes or something in the Unity project. This took a total of like 54 scripts to generate, and the avatar is still medium. It has every single bit of customization that's on the Wii except for height and fatness. Beyond that, it's all there. It took a bit, but I've been pretty happy with it. And recently, I added a randomize button, and I also made a few other slots as well. So here's slot D if you want to have some more me's. I currently have Matt stored in slot D. Let's see, which one's this? Okay, so here's this ghost me, and let me show off the randomize button. It generates some truly horrific things. So yeah, the entire toggle system is done using bones. There are many bones in this thing to make it all work. And also, so you may be aware that there's been a recent push for people to use direct blend trees for toggles in place of more layers. The me is the exception to that rule. I've confirmed it with the people advocating for it. The me is the one thing where it's actually more optimized to have the 40 or so layers this thing has, as opposed to the giant 5,000 state blend tree. It's very unique, and obviously animators were never meant for this. But and the last one I'm showing off is this poor square here. Now I need a volunteer from the audience with a finger. So if you scale up enough that you can poke the canvas, it should toggle some pixels.
Oh fuck, I don't have a finger.
Here, Crazy, or somebody else. Yeah, try poking the canvas. It should work. Yep. It only supports one touch at a time, but it is a synced canvas. I'm using all my synced 256 parameter bits for pixel state, and yeah, you can just draw on it with your finger. I can also do some fancy stuff, like I can invert the canvas, and then you can make it so you can draw in white on black. It detects fingers only, and the way this works is there are 16 contact receivers and 16 row contact receivers, and then I see which ones are being pressed at the same time, and then I know that's where the touch is. Now, yep. I can also turn off people being able to change it to lock the canvas. I can invert it, and I can clear it. And then the other feature this thing has is I wrote a script to import images via OSC, which, man, it was working. Let's see here. Let me just try this. Oh, okay. OSC is mad at me because I had 2 instances of VRChat launched and it changed ports, I think. Do you mind if I actually rejoin real quick and the next person can go and I can show this at the end?
Understood.
Thanks.
Oh! Let me check my list. Let me look at my list. Open Microsoft Paint. Oh, that... I didn't stop that timer. Hang on, I gotta reset the 15-second timer for the next person. Which would be Down Lyric.
All right. Thank you, Peep. Always a great presenter. So I ask everybody who's standing in a spot right now to maintain that spot, because to start with this avatar, I have you all surrounded. Now, could someone take that light, please? Spectral, perhaps? And shine that light around. Turn it on a bit. There we are. Spotlight, anybody with an avatar that has a flashlight on it? Perhaps? I just need somebody who has a flashlight.
I'm seeing him.
I don't see any light.
You see?
Wait, do you not see
Let's see in the light. There it is.
There we go.
Yep, go ahead and shine around. There we are. All right, mind if I take that, Peep? Go back to return to your spot, because there's something special with yours. Look behind you, Peep. You're surrounded. There we are. We've got members all over who have been surrounding Sully. There's one behind Marino there. Who's watching him. One's by Yash there. They're just hanging out in the audience. One was staring directly at Crazium this whole time. Yep, right down there. They're all over the place. Oh, somebody brought the illuminator. The cult of the moth here. Or the cult of old wings. I've got 16 of these fellas I can spread out anywhere at any time. I love it. Just as a funny gag for friends. I'll surround them with like 8 of them. Oh, and somebody made it party mode. I love it. Alrighty. Well, I've got plenty to show, so I might as well try to plow through this here. So to start with, I want to show a celebratory avatar. That is a milestone for me that I'm quite proud of here. I have. Let me put this down here. Aha! This is my celebratory 500th avatar. Officially commemorating my 500th avatar I've made for the game. Yes, this is all of the avatars I've ever made compiled into one originally 46 megabyte image that broke 6 web clipping extensions to try to get this image. I ended up having to use a streaming tool that took 2 full minutes to analyze this. And if you need a sense of scale, in the upper left-hand corner here is the main home desktop page of VRChat.
Oh.
There's one monitor.
What's your current? Is this the last
down
avatar you
there.
made, or are you now
This
at
is
like
500. I'm at like, I think I'm at 503 now. Yeah, 503.
I'm currently at 532.
I have a thicker version or a thinner version for better text. Or, you know, if this is too small,
What
I
up?
can always make it larger. There we are. Or if that's too big, you know, if you prefer, you can digest it in cube form. Cube form is always an option.
Very squishy.
Let me know if the font's too small there. I can expand it a little bit. There we are.
Squished.
Oh, don't let me. Here, I'll put you inside the box. That might help. There we are. So you're in. Okay. Some complain that the font isn't readable on the walls like that, so I have a solution for that as well. There, I just flipped it and added more in the corners there. That's always an option. I also have it in wall strip forms here, in case people prefer wall-mounted things. There we go.
Are they?
I have it in shorter wall strip form, in case. By the way, this is
your
the
sister or some
actual
shit?
resolution of it. This is the correct resolution. This is the most eligible I could get it, because these had to be 8K compressed images to get it all rendered. Because it only produced, it couldn't take one image, it had to break it into 4.
Oh god, excuse me.
And if that's too small, you know, I always
said
have it in
excuse
building
me.
form. There we are. Each side is completely different. They are not the same duplicated. Yes, this is actually how tall it would be if each side was canonically different. And of course,
If you stacked 500 avatars on top of each other,
skyscraper size, where each one is relative to one floor of a building. And it goes outside the skybox surrounding the world.
Yeah, Fujin, bro. I gotta be real with you.
Yes. So this is just to commemorate that. I thought I'd have a little fun with scaling on it. All right. Let me see. I've got a number of others here. For one, I've got my new body swap one. Let me
10-minute
see.
mark, 9 minutes remaining.
Gotcha. All right. So, well then, we're going to show something else here. One, I'm going to show personal tunnel here. So, this avatar is specifically designed so that only people who are also the avatar can see the things it can do. So, if someone would like to see it, and you can simply copy this avatar. I might be able to drop a personal experience bubble for others to see it. But let's see here. Dimension mode. Oh, there we are. So there is a giant tunnel around us here that others cannot see. As well as I can change the coloration of the floor. I think everyone experience works. You guys able to see a bubble here?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so this is what we're all experiencing and can see.
Oh.
I can also make it colorful in reverse. Yes. Also, on top of that, I can spawn a house that only other people who are wearing the avatar can see. Ta-da. Ta-da. Yep. This, I'm planning on expanding on this concept a bit. I'm going to institute a trigger effect that can potentially play audio or effects for only other people wearing the avatar. So essentially, you could spawn an entire club, a dance floor, music, visuals, everything with only the people who are in the same avatar being able to see it. Let's see. Next up, I have a... Oh, somebody found the music. Reset that. Now, next up, we have in my recent creations, void proximity. There we are. So this is a proximity-based avatar, where it only renders within a certain radius of individuals with fade out. And I also, yes, and I also did a little scene setup designed around it. So what I can do here is set up, here we are, the bench, the lamps, the white walkway, and bench, here we are, black proximity, gray, some royalty-free music, there we are.
I can see myself.
And now we're waiting for the bus. I also have radio base rain, but it has a larger radius. Let's see. And reset. So yes, I just made an avatar where I can pop in my own world in a corner and just have someone walk by and be very confused for a moment. When they walk into a place they weren't expecting to be there. Oh, let's see. Oh, does anybody remember when, what was it called? This Fizzbone, was it Squish expansion or something like that came out? The one that made buttons a bit more interactive a couple months ago? I immediately knew what to do with that and jumped on it instantaneously. And I did this. Here we are. Oh, gotta love Fizzbones. And I guess we have time for one more here. Ah, yes. Here we go. Yep, absolutely. Got time for one more here. So, I made an animation for another community to commemorate their 2-year anniversary. And I'd like to show it. I do have to give an advisory, though, that in the last third of it, there is an effect that is very bright, compounded by bloom. Bit flashbangy. So if anybody'd like to avoid that, this is just giving out a fair warning. Because, you know, I don't want to hurt anybody's eyes that don't have to. Lizards coming out of their various doors. Little string tilt. They all scramble away. And a big boy comes through. Let's turn around. shit. The dimensional door opens up. There we are. So, falls in, expanding it. Mario Penguin comes in. Gecko comes in. They do a little funny dance and jig and start to multiply. Let's see. Dance for a little bit, and then they do this. They start to multiply more. Now, the audio is triggered manually, so it's not perfectly in sync. But reveals its hand puppets. This individual comes down with a turnaround. And now from the sky comes a little Naga monster. And they're doing a little dance. Now she is another creator who has a little duck she created, and she decided to give me her duck as a summoning ritual, which she is summoning right now. There he is. And home. Oh boy.
Duck 4.
Yes. Now take a turn around. Yep. And this is where the flash comes in that I warned. Here we go. The swords will open a dimensional portal here. Here we are. Here we go. There we go. And now we are in this dimension. There we are. This'll jam for a bit. There we are. Oh, yeah. Sword spinning up, their head bobbing as we reach the conclusion.
Remaining.
Yep, it was a 3-minute song / animation. Perfectly. Big Moth comes in with a little bit of recognition featuring the people who gave me assets. Yep. And that's all there is to it. Let's see. And close. There we go.
Oh, nice.
Yep. Yep. And thank you for your time, Peep. And I will pass on to the next person.
Oh, my frames. What the freak? So now, the timer's going off. Let me reset that. How about back? Yep, I'm back. Okay, you may show this off now. That seeing as you have to delay it.
So this thing does have OSC support as well, so I can like stream in other images and stuff from that are not in the avatar. For instance, crazy. It's his favorite Super VR ball level. I can also do a funny. Let's see, where is it? There we go. Funny animations. Yes.
What?
And then there's this one. No.
That is very real. People are disappearing into it.
Why are people coming in?
Well, nothing of value was lost.
And then finally,
I agree.
True.
Oh, hell yeah. No. What is it?
It's better.
Yeah. Oh my god.
It's based on the Game Boy version, which I then scaled down. And yeah, the avatar itself is only 1,028 polys. And everything works on Quest actually, except for the painting feature. But as long as a PC user is the one wearing it, everything works for everyone. The way this works is that each of the pixels is a square, and then I pair up the pixels, which are then toggled via bone rotations. And if you kind of like go behind the go in between the front layer and the back layer, you can kind of see the like backs of the pixels. That like the front of the bone is 2 pixels that are off. Like the side next to that is 1 on, 1 off. The back of it is like both of them are on, and the other one is the other one that's not on, the other on-off pair. Overall, it's very optimized, except for the animator, and because VRChat doesn't let you have more than 256 parameters total, which I need, I had to compress my parameters into integers, which actually made the animator 5 times less performant than it should be.
There's a way to do it.
So yeah, and instead of having 256 synced bools like I had before, I had to compress this into 32 synced integers, which again is I did some performance testing, is really horribly performant compared to the other way. So it'd be nice if VRChat let us have more than 256 parameters total. They let you add that in like the SDK, but it doesn't load correctly in game. So yeah.
You can have more, but it's quite difficult. I made
Well,
a system for that.
Yeah.
If you're interested.
I need ones I can put in like contact receivers anyway, so.
I know. It's doable. It's very difficult.
And I would make this version public if the animator wasn't very poor. Since if you have 128 of these in the room, 20 milliseconds of frame time is taken up by just the animators on these guys, which is not good. I'll just let Bad Apple play out here. There we go.
I'm still mind boggled by that. I could never comprehend OSC stuff, and that's cool as hell. I don't think I'm ever gonna comprehend it, but we've got other people to comprehend it, so I don't have to. Yeah. You.
Got it.
You're next. Take the stage.
Okay. Hey, everybody. Recently I've had a lot of free time on my hands, meaning I didn't get any avatar work done. That's just sort of how I work. Anyway, I have 1 new avatar, 2 broken avatars, which I won't be showing off, but I have been working on some fun features for some of my older stuff. Working on a new coloring system for my avatars that allow infinite quotation marks color palettes. Yeah, and it's like semi. It's like hard to not hard. It's like very customizable, but very in precise. So anytime you use it, it's mostly just gonna rely on random values and just find what you like. But it works so far. I occasionally find a palette I like. A lot of them look ugly as heck. Besides that, the only other thing I made recently is this designed a new character. The premise of this character is that they're a alien fashion model, and I mainly did like a doodle of a person, like a Saturn person with their face obscured by the ring, which was the sort of general look I was going for. Like a fully customizable ring, and you know, gestures. Can we get a close up on my hands for part of this?
Go, Speckle, go.
So for this, the hands are fake. There's no like bones. It's like two little fingers, but I wanted to do it in a way where I could do like turn the fingers into thumbs depending on the gesture, which I thought looked sufficiently gross. Oh.
Pointing the camera at your hands.
Keep going, and you're good.
Yeah. On my screen, it's like right above my head. Oh my.
Really? Their skill desync. Oh, you might have to reset your skill.
Oh. I didn't know that was a thing. Okay, yeah. So gross, horrible thumbs. I also have 4 bones in them because I want them to look a little bit bendier. That sort of accomplished the look I wanted. It's also... So a lot of it's customizable in the way of the general body and the palettes. Awesome. So you're able to customize stuff like the legs, the boot length, dress variety, sleeve type, shoulder type. I added like asymmetrical options because I thought it would look very artsy fartsy, especially with like a big hat. Also, the hat can be customized too. Now that I mention it, you can change the ring size, the head size for fun, the ring type. I could like essentially imitate many types of hats. Also, like there is for desktop, there is a way to tilt the head manually using the radial menu. Also able to turn on and off the top of the hat to sort of make it not obscure the face. Let's see. This also has that color system I've been working on. Seemingly infinite palettes. But the way randomness works, it seems you often run into similar patterns, but then you're able to also adjust the hue of the random palette to just adjust it even more. Let's see. Also made some option for presets. Just weird general alien looking things. Hang on. Sort of like a pink Barbie type thing. I might adjust this one. Did a goth look. Did an exercise one. I might adjust the color on this to look more sort of like... Also, there shouldn't be nets on it. I need to turn that off. That's not appropriate. Apparently the nets don't work. What happened? There we go. And then I did like a big flower. Yeah. Originally, I was thinking, like, after I drew the initial sketch for this, I was like, I wonder if I can do like a Michael Jackson kind of thing, just like a smooth criminal thing. But like the initial design was just really good, so I just stuck to that. I have one broken thing I made as well. I'm not sure if it syncs properly, but the idea of this avatar is it should be emitting smoke out of the head using fizz bones, and over time it will just like fill a room and just be very obnoxious. You're also able to make it angry, and that should make it shoot out really fast. But I don't think it syncs properly. Probably looks really stupid, in fact. I don't know. Yeah, that's about it. All right. Actually, any questions? Any questions? Nope. Okay, so the way it's working is my general atlas is like a big rainbow, and the top of the rainbow it's like darker, and the lower part is like left to right it's rainbow, then up and down it's grayscale, and then there's like a few different sets of those. There's one that's like just base colors, emissions, and then a grayscale one. In order to increase and decrease the range of possible colors, for one thing, if I want to change the hue, I just slide the texture, like offset it, and if I want to increase the range, I like double it.
Oh yeah.
Wow, lag spike. I multiply it many times, or like reduce it to 0, so then it's like monotone.
Nice.
Yeah.
Green.
It's very hard to
Red.
find a logic behind it, so I just keep it random. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Yep.
That makes sense.
Hey.
Hello. So, given that there was only 4 people, this could mean one of 2 things. One, there are some people who ain't not feeling like showing off, or 2, we ain't got many people. So there's a possibility. So I'm gonna cling on to that and say, just like every roundup, yeah, if anyone wants to show anything off, we're gonna do a round 2. But if 4 is all we get, then 4 is all we get. We shall conclude. Same rules as before, and I'll give a little dramatic 10-second countdown in my brain.
A good show.
Let me strike a dynamic pose for this.
Worked on.
Good.
I love this, which is quite nice.
Anyway, there we have it. This will be our round 2. After this is concluded, no more. We will be done. So, Stabby melting down. Got it. You two return from whence thou came, Stabby. Stage is yours again.
Alright, this one I've actually made a while back. I made this for Christmas, and initially this was also coinciding when Fishbones got released. And this has a specific animator system on it that allows people to eat the cookie. It basically detects head colliders, and then whenever a head collider is detected, it will break off any of the 16 pieces it's built out of. So if anyone wants to try, yeah, it's basically despawns different pieces. So you eat
Nice. It actually works.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like 16 different pieces. It's like sort of to demonstrate like what you can do with fish bones. Yo. Ah. Yeah. So yeah, it's there we go. One more piece. Oh no.
What?
Yep. Yeah, so that was a fun little project I've done to test how to do this, and it actually, let me just reset the avatar. There we go. It actually checks for adjacent pieces being present or not. So that way you can't just eat something out of the middle. It only goes from the edges, like the extremities out, like to their neighboring pieces. And another thing I've done is I try to make like a claymation looking model, and I have it both in pink and more like natural colors. This one, there we go, and this one emulates like the shader of clay, and also the mouth movements are stepped through at a fixed interval. So it doesn't matter if I talk faster or slower, it will always flip through them at 12 FPS. So it looks more like stop motion animation. Like, I was thinking about also doing something with constraints for the character poses, but that would require like a ton of constraints and some scripts and stuff, and I was like, yeah, the mouth for now, it's good. And actually also a thing that this does is that there's a normal on it, and it will change surface whenever I'm either talking or moving. So like when something is messing with the model, the stop motion shows signs of it. And then there was this one which I did like a cyberpunk thing. This was right when Edge Runners came out, and I made like a hacking effect as well. So I create like these particles. They're sort of flipbooks of the hacking minigame from Cyberpunk. And then there was also for the STEM events, Astro made a outfit for Star Trek, the original series, available. Actually, a lot of other ones. So I fitted that to my avatar, but then I also set up the effects for the teleportation, so I can teleport away. And the effects is actually made to mimic the effects how they were done in the original series instead of the subsequent ones. And other things, yeah, these are pretty much the noteworthy ones, at least. Oh, there was one, I don't think I've shown off the Halloween one, but I've tried to do an effect where my model could cut a pumpkin using shaders and stencils. So whenever I rotate around, the head will basically maintain the correct cutout. So this one I made for last year's Halloween. And like if you if you zoom in closer, you can actually see like the details of the face and everything. Yo. Is it? I don't see anything because of your model up front. There we go. So yeah, and it also has a candle on the inside. And whenever I rotate around, you see it will keep being correct. And this also, like, if someone were to reach through, they can actually see their hand poking through on the inside as well. That actually cuts it out. See? So that's some stencil shenanigans I've been doing. Well. So yeah, those are some more of my avatars. So I guess up to the next one. Yo.
Oh wait. I misread the situation. Next up, also, very good work on all of those. I like shader effects. Next up would be melting.
Hello. So I've been sitting on this for a little bit, but I've been doing a ton of testing with constraints, and since the the Squishbone update, there's been a lot of interesting things you can do with Fizzbones, and I think I've got the most reliable world constraint that also works on quests. It's not perfect though, but it's the best I've seen so far. It's very limited to worlds within about 200 meters from world origin. That's the only issue. So the big issue with world constraints is if you want to do a synced one, it takes up a lot of parameters. But the great thing about Fizzbones is you actually there are float values stored in Fizzbones, and you can just use Fizzbones for constraints as long as you're using something the center, and if you use world origin as the center of the Fizzbone, then you can just go from there and it should actually be synced. The problem is the further you go away from world origin, the less synced it is. So I have a little demo avatar. I'm hoping this still works after the update. Gee, this might be the old one.
Cube.
Okay. Rajan, could you help me here? So the only issue with this is you need someone to grab Fizzbones, and on desktop you can't grab Fizzbones. So you can grab it, you lock one. So any player can lock the first one, and then the second one. Do you see the second one there, Rajan?
Okay, so I grabbed the cube. I've got a red cube here with the plants around here. Second one.
Yeah, see. Do you know where World Origin is?
I think I see people load in this. I think this is World Origin. I couldn't.
It shouldn't be offset.
Wait. We can fix this. We can fix this. Debug avatar. Shows coordinates. I'm gonna find World Origin real quick. I'm gonna get my best detective gear on and get a comically large magnifying glass along with a smoking pipe and Right. I think it was this one. Position is 0, 0 on this.
Yeah, let me just.
Can you see the menu here?
Actually, Rajan, I think this might a better one, the 2-circle one. Yeah, so could you try with this one?
Fizzbones, yeah.
Yeah.
Whoops. Okay, I got this one. Alright.
Okay. So the first circle, gets placed by local player, and then the second one has to be placed by remote player, because with networking there's a slight desync. So I think things get rounded up or down depending on remote player, but using a second Fizzbone, you can store that you get that little bit extra resolution on the placement. So now it's locked, so both circles are red. You can hide my avatar, you can unhide it, you can block me, unblock me, and whenever you load me back in, these will be in the same place. So this is a synced world constraint that uses 2 Fizzbones, no parameters, nothing else. It works on quests as well. It's as simple as sticking a. It's not available yet. I've been worried about the whole new update to the new version in Unity. I need to test it out in there first, but it's very simple.
It seems okay to me.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
on
for
the
what it's
new
worth,
one.
I'm
It
on
seems
the
alright.
2022 beta, and it seemed to be
Well,
functioning.
Seems to be working.
That's good to know. But it's as simple as all you have to do is send a fizzbone to yourself. Have the default state of where the fizzbone is world origin. It's a 2-chain fizzbone from world origin. You send it to yourself with a constraint, and then you grab it, and then the act of grabbing it, you just send it back to world origin.
No.
And then once it's
replicate that, can you make it?
Yeah. One.
Please. That'd be so nice.
Okay. Yeah. The hardest part is the offset. So the further you go away from world origin, the offset gets bigger and bigger for remote player because it kind of rounds up or down the value over networking, which makes sense because you don't want these massive values stored across network. But yeah, so I'll probably do this up as a prefab. Probably like a modular avatar or a VRC Fury one. It's pretty simple. It's limited to worlds where, like, technically speaking, there isn't actually a limit to how far the world is, but the second remote player orb that they have to place gets further and further away the further you are away from world origin. So that's the only issue. But yeah, I think that's the main thing I've been doing lately. Regarding like cool stuff, I have one more thing to show off. This real quick. So this is my follower system. I'm in the process of making this VRC Fury and modular avatar prefab. This one uses obviously constraints, but there's a Crest compatible version. So with constraints, not with constraints, with fizzbones, if you just give them infinite stretch and none of the other forces, and you just turn it off and on again, it just stays in place. It jitters a little bit, but yeah, you can get things to stop on Quest this way. So probably another one worth checking out. This is a pay for prefab. It's got normal follower stuff. It's got remote control as well, so you can remote control it around the place. It's got a yo-yo mode, and it's got a throw joint as well. If anyone checks out. But yeah, that's all I have to show. If anyone is interested in any of my prefabs, just check out my links are in my bio. And feel free to add.
Set the timer real quick, and our last person to show off for the day shall be down. Who threw that at me? Take the stage.
Hello. So I thought I'd finish it off here with a little bit of fun/interactivity. So I've got 2 avatars to work with here. Both of these I'd shown prior, but it's been over half a year, so new faces may not have seen them before. So for audience interactivity, I have Hydra Moth to the limit. Every upper part of its body is interactable and pullable, every single bone in the upper half. So if anybody wants to come in and just start grabbing, and there is no stretch limit. I debugged it to push it past the limit. So, and they're lockable in place if you press the grip toggle. Also, one of my heads controls my voice, but not my camera, which means my voice can be moved to another room, but I won't know because my camera remains in place. I have had a friend pull a prank on me with that before in this. Yeah. So, if anybody'd like to just start grabbing arms or something. Here we are. Yep, you should be able to grab and pull. I don't see it registering on the cam. Is it stretching?
Yeah, we're pulling it. Stretching it.
Happening.
Okay. Yep. Yep. There's that fella, and the last fella will be the 5D moth. Let's see here. Let's grab him. Here he is. So, oh, there we are. So, the 5D moth, warning for people who are streaming, contains some copyright audio. Oh, respectable thing to alert, and it has a bunch of colors, including one part that has some colors moving speedily for a couple seconds. So this one I made for, well, the fun of it, to see how far I could push stencils. And on top of that, just show the importance of how important texture memory is versus polygon counts and material counts. So, to start with, I'll show something simple. So, I have my top hat here. I have a scientist here. I have an officer, an explorer, and an office worker. Now, these aren't just outfits. These are other layers within, on top of our current layers. So what I can do with this is some silly things. So if I throw on this, here we are. Just a little bit of, here we are. That's odd. Audio isn't activating. That's peculiar. I know it functions perfectly. I've had this for over half a year. Let's see. It's because I forgot to activate the constraint. There we go. Constraint activated. Here we are. So, we can start getting a little funny with it. So, for example, if I add colors here, so, and there is radial audio to this. Let's see. Now, I'll do this. Whoop. There we are.
Nice. That is really cool.
There we are.
Love the stenciling.
Mm-hmm. And if you walk around this cube here, whoop. Whoop. With this, they all exist in their own separate layers. And I don't technically need the color. The color's just so that people have a visualizer. So if I wanted to, I could just change. Fun little element like that. And then, with the next track, I can push it to its limit. Bring on the next track here. Do. Here we are. So,
9 minutes remain.
Here's what I can do. Yep. Let me do this here, because the song's less than 5 minutes, so it's perfect. So, here we have the infinite hallway. A hallway that seems to go on infinitely. It only renders it if you get in close. So you have to be within a certain radius here that you can see it goes on and on. And then with that, I can also do different objects here that all maintain the same position, but are different depending on where I'm located at. And then, just to make things even more confusing and fun, I could do this. I could start to mix things up here, where now things are different.
That's cool.
And then if I really want to push it, I can now, just for fun, throw in some snow particles here, And here comes the color effect. Oh, bring in the animation. Oh, the edge of infinity. Then we remove that and push. Push. Here we are. Push. Yep. This is just meant to be an example of what you can do with pushing when you push stencils, and two, about how texture memory is a very important element, and I'm so glad they added it to avatars. Because if you look at the statistics of this, you are currently rendering around 500,000 polygons, 1,000 materials, 1,000 meshes, and experiencing little to zero frame loss. Yep. Which shows just how important and how far textures can go, because this has just base raw colors. Yep. But that's all I had to show today. Thank you all for coming, and anybody else who showed, and I'll be taking my place. Away. And reset. Whoop. There we are.
Awesome. That's cool.
And with that
What was that final song again?
is
'Cause I
the
remember, but I
Avatar
don't recall
Roundup
the name.
of
E-A-O.
E-A-O?
Yeah.
September concluded. Thank you all. It has been an honor and a pleasure. You better quit that. Better quit that.
Hey, what's all this in?
Yeah. Once again, if you want to see more of this, communitymeetup.net, and you can come and you can see more of these every month. First Saturday of every month, and then also the community meetup, which is, of course, every Sunday, 9 p.m. GMT. Tired of having to convert from EST? You convert from my time. Good night!
It's 3 EST.
Shut up,
Trouble
Richard.
here? What's all this in, mate? Listen.
Oh,
Streets
But I
past
guess-
curfew.
Yeah, man. What do you
I
mean?
might
was the
need
wrong
to
time.
take you
I
in.
guess it worked with the stage
Oh,
amplifier.
You're too young. You're only 3. Never mind, curfew's over. Enjoy your jolly,
Turn back
your
the
jolly good
darkness.
stroll, Civilian.
I'm getting conflicting responses. Oh. Anyway.
I've got you down.
Hi,
I
can't turn
asked
it
her to
on.
go. Bye, everyone.
Here. I'm a Scally.
Take it easy.
Thank you. Bye, peep.
So did you go
There
go
you
share
go.
this
My
yourself?
own.
I presume you
yeah.
did, right?
Evan.
People
One
still
idea,
coming.
yeah.
Hit me.
Welcome to the roundup.
But it's done in Amplify, so like you can make this on
on
a base system.
So we
Yeah.
noted.
Where you go?
Oh wait, no, I gotta
Where'd it
wait
go?
on invite
Yeah.
request before I
I
can
believe
do
it's
it.
my turn.